momento de la acción.
Tenés...
My name is Carlos. You may have heard of me.
Velkommen til Filmz TV. En af denne uges nye premierefilm er gyseren Devil. Filmen handler om en gruppe fremmede, som bliver fanget i en elevator, hvorefter det hurtigt bliver klart, at den ene af dem er en blodtørstig dæmon. Filmen er produceret af den kontroversielle instruktør M. Night Shyamalan. I 1999 blev en 29-årig Shyamalan verdenskendt, da hans blot tredje spillefilm, Den sjette sans, blev et megahit og nomineret til et hav af Oscars. Mange vil nok mene, at det siden da er gået ned ad bakke for Shyamalan, men de fleste af hans senere film har alligevel tjent en masse penge. Hans første film efter Den sjette sans, Unbreakable, var en forfriskende superheltefilm, som bød på en af Bruce Willis bedste præstationer til dato i rollen som en stilfærdig sikkerhedsvagt, som måske er en vaskeægte superhelt. I 2002 begik Shyamalan en meget mere konventionel thriller, Science, med Mel Gibson og Joaquin Phoenix i hovedrollerne. Det var en ganske veldraget, men også ret forudsigelig thriller med op til flere tåbelige twists. Overvældende twists var gået hen og blevet Shyamalans varemærke. Lige siden Den sjette sans virkede det, som om Shyamalan var opsat på at runde alle sine historier af med en gevaldig twist, uanset om den så var påtaget eller ej. Twisten i hans næste film, The Village, var lidt for gakket for de fleste. Men den stemningsfulde thriller bød dog stadigvæk på en masse uhyggelige sekvenser, godt skuespil og blændende musik af Shyamalans hofkomponist James Newton Howard. Men det var virkelig svært for Shyamalan at sælge sit manuskript til hans næste film, den fantasifulde Lady in the Water, og da filmen endelig landede i biografen, blev den instruktørens første regulære flop. De fleste anmelder vendte tommelfingeren nedad, og pludselig havde den engang så succesrig instruktør flertallet imod sig. Endnu sværere var det at forsvare Shyamalans næste film, The Happening, hvor i menneskeheden åbenbart blev angrebet af ondskabsfulde planter. Ja, ondskabsfulde planter. Shyamalans seneste film var Luftens sidste, Mester, som var en af sidste års absolut værst anmeldte film. I sin anmeldelse af filmen bemærkede vores anmelder Søren Ilved, at Shyamalan absolut ikke mestrede luften. Det skulle det lige være evnen til at skabe en ualmindeligt stor og ildelugtende filmbrud. Devil er til gengæld ikke instrueret af Shyamalan. Instruktøren har blot produceret filmen og udtænkt dens plot. Filmen er tænkt som den første del af en serie af thrillere, som Shyamalan producerer, mens andre, yngre, ambitiøse filmmager får lov til at instruere løjerne. Føljetongen har fået titlen The Night Chronicles. Vi fik lejlighed til at tale lidt med Shyamalan over telefonen om både Devil og instruktørens interesse i at give unge, ambitiøse filmmager muligheden for at realisere deres drømme i Hollywood.
Just before getting on to Devil, there's just something I have to ask, being a fan, and that is, will we ever see Unbreakable 2?
You never know. You never know. I've been noodling it a lot because it came, the 10-year anniversary came, and we've been, it's been screened at Comic-Con and all this stuff, and I went and did some talks on it. I'm circling a thought on it, so you never know.
Okay. But Devil, this is only the second film that you've written, but you haven't directed. I mean, was it kind of like having to handle your baby over to another parent?
Well, it was more difficult with Stuart Little because I actually wrote almost everything in that movie, right? And so, for me, the plot on Stuart Little, for example, it was completely, me for a long time before anybody came on board. And so it only existed in the form in my head. And so when they went to go make it, they were changing it. And that was more difficult than this, which was, I didn't write these, I don't write the Night Chronicles. I write the treatments for the Night Chronicles. And then I work with the writers. So I hire another writer. So even right there, it starts to become something different. I've had a partner at each stage that is imbuing it with their personality and their point of view. So it's been a very interesting process. But prior to the beginning, I would have told you that would have been my big worry. I'm even now, as we're starting our second one here, I have a different kind of emotional position on the film than I did with Devil. I'm in some ways I'm even more invested the second time because I feel more comfortable in my role as the producer and the creator of it, and can tell it with more accuracy. You know, this was my intention emotionally. How can you execute this in a way that feels organic to you as an artist, meaning the director or the writer? And the celebration of other people's talents is, you know, something that I like. There's part of me that aspires to be Mozart, and there's a part of me that that loves being Salieri. And I, you know, like when I see something I love, whether it's a song or a movie or a book, I mean, I am in awe of that artist, that they got to that place of inspiration. And just to have that be part of my process, that I'm watching people, the talented people reach that, you know, help them reach that moment of inspiration, is really, really rewarding for me.
But you were a producer on the film as well, though. I mean, how hands-on were you throughout the shoot? Were you very involved, or did you allow them to kind of do their own thing?
You know, I was kind of like, you know, I'd say I was right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I went, at times I was hands off, and then at times I came in and said, you know, hey, I think you need to take a look at this. I'm concerned about this or that kind of thing. So, you know, I try to perceive myself as the goalie more than, you know, standing right next to them, but as the goalie. So if it got by them, that I could protect them.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in the devil yourself, though?
You know, I think, you know, what I was trying to say with the story and the treatment, and when I came up with it, was that, you know, these conversations about the supernatural are just primarily metaphoric. You're
talking about the fact, and I've read comments from you about this before, that this Night Chronicles series is a way of you helping younger up-and-coming filmmakers and actors getting the chance to prove themselves. And then,
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And that made me think, are you happy with the way your career has panned out? I mean, since you really got the chance to prove yourself with The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, it's also, I mean, it's a selfish thing, too, because I've always longed for a community of filmmakers, you know, but I wasn't willing to move to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read about, you know, the Zoetrope guys and what Francis did over there, and him and Lucas and all those guys, you know, I'm envious of having peers to bounce ideas off of, and they don't have to make any kind of similar movies. You can hear it in my voice. It keeps filmmaking fun. Like when I was, you know, a little kid, a 12-year-old kid with my video camera and the neighborhood kids. This is that again.
Yeah. But I hate to go off on a tangent again, but now that you just mentioned Spielberg and Lucas, I have to ask, because this is something I've been wondering about for a long time. I mean, I know your favorite movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it must have been a dream come true when you were asked to write a draft for the fourth film. Can you tell us anything about what your Indiana Jones story was about, and why it ultimately never materialized?
Well, that one was more of really was a practical thing. If I remember correctly, it was, you know, this was a long time ago. I think I was in post on Unbreakable or somewhere. It was somewhere around there, and it was a timing issue with the writing. You know, at that time they were, you know, moving very fast, and you know, it was a timing thing more than anything. And at that time, it felt like a logistical issue of how I was going to talk to all of them at the same time and figure it all out. So it started, and then I just think, you know, I think if it was like in between a movie, I think I might have been able to do the draft for them, but I ended up kind of, you know, talking to everybody and scribbling down thoughts and all that stuff. But no, I can't tell you my story. That's in my notebooks in my drawers.
Maybe for if they call you up for the fifth or the sixth movie, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I'll wipe off the dust off of it.
Yeah. But of course, going back to Devil, of course, there's a twist at the end. Of course, I'm almost tempted to say. I mean, are you ever afraid that people will become too preoccupied looking for hints at the twist instead of focusing on the story and the characters?
Yeah, I mean, that recently has been my concern, is that, you know, I've tried to do very varied stuff, so that I've been doing, you know, counter programming stuff intentionally, just for this. But you know, I also don't want to run away from the way I tell stories, and Devil inherently had that as part of the idea. And so, you know, I hope it doesn't become a problem, you know, for the future. But it's something, you know, I try to be as organic as I can, and Devil really had that as part of his genetics.
Yeah. But if you look at the movie as a Shyamalan production, I mean, it really is a return to basics. It's a sort of old-fashioned horror film. Was that in any way a reaction to the critical response of your recent films?
No, I mean, you know, these things take years to do, right? So it's not like they're done linearly. So like a movie that comes out now wasn't in linear time done after. You know, like this is like for Devil's idea was way before a few movies. You know, 2 or 3 movies.
But I mean, it was very fascinating to me when I read an interview with you from MTV where you said that the favorite movies of your own work were The Village and Unbreakable. Why not The Sixth Sense?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, there's a personal aspect to the movies that you just mentioned, like, you know, the very personal aspect that's imbued in them that makes them almost, you know, impossible to separate from myself. And so they let's say they're more raw in who I am, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, whereas, you know, making a great, you know, movie that succeeds is fun, you know, and all, but sometimes you want to be as much yourself as you can, you know, and Unbreakable and The Village and Lady are more who I am as a human being, really.
Mm-hmm. Why actually haven't you been tempted to do another guy's script?
Well, like, for example, it normally happens like this, where somebody will come and say, hey, can you write and direct it, or can you rewrite and direct it? So it just naturally, that's how they approach me for a project, is to do both.
Mm-hmm.
Shyamalan var tydeligvis meget undvigende, når snakken faldt på modtagelsen af hans seneste film og hans karrieres udvikling. Husk i øvrigt, at du senere på ugen kan læse vores anmeldelse af Devil på hjemmesiden. På gensyn.
Husk selvfølgelig, at du kan læse endnu flere artikler og anmeldelser på hjemmesiden, som du også kan diskutere i vores omfattende online forum.